You're watching the Western Athletic Conference here on ESPN. It's the opening weekend of Western Athletic Conference play, and tonight a good old-fashioned Lone Star State showdown. The Stephen F. Austin Lumberjackets visit Abilene to take on the ACU Wildcats. As we welcome you courtside, happy holidays, everyone, and welcome here to Moody Coliseum on the campus of Abilene Christian University. Andy Penny alongside Chris Jarrett. It again is the opening week for Western Athletic Conference play. And Chris, if the anxiety of starting this early was not heavy, how about both of these teams 0-1 trying to bounce back and not start WAC play 0-2, and they'll do it in a tradition-rich rivalry here tonight.
Oh, Andy, welcome to the fist fight. Welcome to what's going to be an absolute slugfest between two really tough, gritty teams, and you mentioned it. For Stephen F. Austin, a 9-point lead with 8 minutes left. Inside the Sawmill, can't get it done, so a tough spot for them to try to do it, and they're going to turn to Day Hall to try to get it done. Really strong start for him to begin the season, but first 4 games this year, double figures. In his last 3, though, games held underneath 10 points, so they're going to need him to be big tonight.
And for the Wildcats, Hunter Jack Madden will play big tonight, the leading scorer here for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the senior, the guy coming in from Sydney, Australia, they really go by him. And Kyle Keller told us that it's going to be guard play that's going to be a big factor in tonight's game. Hunter Jack Madden looking to do that.
The series history between these two is tradition-rich and memorable, and to speak more on that, we go courtside to the third member of our team with Daisy Stride. Daisy?
Thanks, guys. That's right. Stephen F. Austin versus Abilene Christian University, a conference rivalry dating all the way back to 1973. Just last year, Stephen F. Austin beat Abilene Christian University in double overtime here at Moody Coliseum. It was truly an intense game. On top of that, SFA and ACU are both coming off their first conference loss this week, leaving both teams hungry for their first conference win of the season. It's going to be a great one. You can already feel the intensity. Guys, back to you.
You're watching the Western Athletic Conference. Keller for SFA, Brett Tanner for ACU mentioned that this is a great rivalry. It's a rock fight every time they get together. You mentioned that as well, and I'm sure we'll hear the same thing again. SFA comes in an overall record of 4-3 overall. They dropped their WAC opener on Wednesday night at home to Tarleton, 68-66. It's a game that SFA led by 9 with 9 minutes left, but Tarleton comes back, got the win. So SFA is 0-1. ACU as well, who's being introduced here on the home floor, also 0-1 in conference play. They fell on the road at UT Arlington, 86-71. They trailed by 7 at the half. They got back within 2 in the second half, but then UTA spread it out to a 15-point win at 86-71. So again, Chris, both teams, here we are early in conference play. Yeah, it's a long 20-game conference schedule, but one of these teams at the end of the night will be 0-2 in conference play. So a lot on the line here, not just a rivalry, but when you talk about conference standings.
Oh, yeah, and it's a tough conference to win on the road, and unfortunately that's what Brett Tanner and his squad had to find out in UT Arlington. You mentioned they worked it back within 2 inside a ball game, and unfortunately let that one get away. Now they've got SFA, who was in a similar situation, though at home, a very manageable lead, but the Lumberjacks could not hang on to that, and it was Tarleton, the Texans, that were able to get that first conference win, as opposed to Stephen F. Austin. And Kyle Keller says that doesn't happen a lot. We don't drop leads like that in the second half. So this can be an SFA team that's going to come in with a big old chip on their shoulder.
It's a 20-game conference schedule, 11 teams in the conference. It's a double round robin home and home schedule. But a month between tonight's conference game and then the next conference game after the new year will be the next conference game. So someone will have to sit on an 0-2 conference record for a month after this one. A lot on the line here, the Wildcats and the Lumberjacks. SFA leads the series 25-14. They've won 4 of the last 5, but many of these go down to the final possession. We'll see the same here. Wildcats in the home whites, they'll move right to left. Lumberjacks in the visiting purple will move left to right. Balbrin in the circle with Cameron Steele. We are underway. The Lumberjacks win the tip. Wilson, Balbrin, Jossel, Christmas, and Southwick the start for the visiting Jacks. McLean, Steele, Madden, Simmons, and Dibba on the floor for the Wildcats. And the first turnover with a loose basketball. And out of bounds, SFA will keep possession. Wildcat defense looked like they hit the first 2, but they don't. We see the head coach, Kyle Keller, for the visiting Lumberjacks tonight. His 8th season, a chance to win game number 150 in his SFA head coaching career here tonight. Longtime assistant, Texas A&M, Kansas, Oklahoma State, just to name a few. He is part of a pretty impressive coaching tree.
A couple big names at those programs there, huh?
Lob pass on the inside. Balburnham a chance, plucked out of bounds. Cameron Steele. Just one on the shot clock. Good interior defense. Cam from behind.
Yeah, really good help inside that the Wildcats on the entry passes. They're doing a good job of coming over. And you saw that on the first time down the floor. Almost got the steal, almost forced a turnover, but then turned it over themselves. Here we are with 1 second on the timer.
Deep shot on the baseline. Southwick gets an air ball. It's a shot clock violation that will go as a turnover. It's a Wildcat team that forces just 12 turnovers a game this year. Check that, 13 turnovers a game this year. McLean to run the show here for ACU, their first offensive trip. And it's a steal and a turnover. Christmas will lead the break, and he'll finish coast to coast. Krishawn Christmas, who averages 7.3 a game, breaks our scoreless tie. We're 1 minute deep.
That's a great defensive trip for the Lumberjacks. If they can get their defensive trips like that, they force a turnover outside on the arc and an easy cash in for 2.
SFA averages 78 points a game. ACU at 68 a game. 8 on the shot clock and our first foul tonight. As we look at the head coach for ACU, it's Brett Tanner in his 3rd season as the head coach. 41 up, 32 down in 2+ seasons. Of course, his 11th year here, a long-time assistant with Joe Golding. Took the reins as Coach Golding made his way to UTEP out in El Paso. Brett Tanner's doing great things here as the head man. Say a deflection, SFA will get possession of the basketball, so a turnover for the Wildcats. Kick out into the corner and through the hands of Krishawn Christmas.
And just valuing the basketball, Andy, is going to be one of the common trends that we come back to a lot tonight. That's really an unforced turnover. It's not a great pass. It's a low pass, but you've got to be able to secure the basketball.
Both coaches told us this week as we visited with them here in the last few days, just inconsistent play, especially at the point guard position. Yeah. Both teams have to clean it up. Here's Simmons putting one up on the rim. It's too strong. A shot. Let's take a look at our keys to the game tonight, SFA and ACU.
And you were talking about point guard play for Stephen F. Austin. You notice a lot of these lineups for both of these teams, Andy, they've been working guys in and out, trying to still work at this early point of the season, albeit conference play starting tonight at home for ACU, but still trying to work with some lineups. Kyle Keller said that it was not in the consistent spot that they want it to be to win championships.
Cameron Steele out on the right side. 15 on the shot clock. Crossover, McLean finds a seam. He'll put it up off the glass and in. Kavion McLean averaging 3.1. The junior college transfer from Howard College. Back to 2 apiece.
Jacks did a good job of pushing the tempo, but the Wildcats got back.
Wilson, kick out. Balbrum to look at a 3, and he puts it down. Bobrin's 6.7 a game. He shoots it at 33% behind the 3-point line.
Jacks as a team just shy of 40% from beyond the arc.
Here's Dibba over to Madden, the leading scorer for the Wildcats. He's got it in his hands right side. Cameron Steele shot fake. He'll find that same seam. Jump stock, kick out. Simmons with 5 on the shot clock. McLean, corner 3. Too strong and no good. A little disjointed on that series for the Wildcats.
We talked to Brett Tanner about ready for conference play, not ready for conference play. He says it's all relative. It's across the conference that it's really early for everybody.
Stay with the Lumberjacks. Yeah, here's Kavion McLean, crossover dribble, able to get to the rim.
Yeah, really nice. Wildcats tonight, Andy. Offensively, you're going to need those guards to create buckets for you. Outside the arc, just beat his man on the first step and got to the bucket clean.
Aiden Ikiehan in for the Wildcats for substitution tonight, and a turnover chance to run. Dibba left side, up off the glass, and strong, it's good.
Just a tough bucket to winning his matchups. The one-on-one matchups inside the paint are going to be huge tonight.
Dibba 13.1 points a game, one of 3 Wildcats in double figure scoring. Hunter Jack Madden leads the way at 13-4. Dibba 13-1, Simmons at 12-9. Another chance to run. Madden in front of center of the court. Jump stop on a three, too strong. Not a bad look there for Simmons. Just get his first shot of the night in transition.
Yeah, not a bad look for a guy in Hunter Jack Madden, too, that's shooting it over 50% from three.
Jostle strong to the rim, up high off the glass, and good. Latrell Jostle in his third season at SFA, the transfer from Kansas. Former Jayhawk, now a Lumberjack. He's got his first two tonight. Dibba on a back door. Up off the glass and good again. Dibba's been in double figures 6 of his last 7 games, or 6 of the 7 games. He's been in double figures each of the last 5. Got 4 early here. Looking at 3, up and good. That's Jostle again. Jostle shooting the 3 at 45.2%. And a foul on the other end. Up and down pace here the first 4.5 minutes. SFA out of the chutes, an early 4-point lead.
That's his first of the game, team foul number 2. And we have a media timeout. All right, fans, look out for those smartphones now. To decide to guess the halftime score presented by A-Line TV. Scan the QR code on the
Beautiful look at downtown Abilene, Texas. Beautiful day here as we flip the calendar to December. SFA an early 4-point lead here. Andy Penny, Chris Jarrett, and Chris, pretty much what we anticipated up and down the floor. It's going to be another rock fight here tonight.
It is really quick tempo so far, but we're looking at the turnovers. It was one of the keys to the game that we had for both of these teams, essentially. But Stephen F. Austin, 5 turnovers already. It certainly helps so when you're knocking down 4 of the 5 shots you've taken so far. 2 of them, Andy, coming from outside the arc. So knocking down threes and just making shots right now has got the Jacks a 4-point lead.
You will see all sorts of substitutions here for both teams. Cajuste is in, AJ Cajuste. Day Hall, his first time on the floor. Nana Antwi Osiako also on the floor, as is Frank Stain. First free throw is up and good. Hey, let's go courtside. Let's visit with Daisy Strine courtside. Daisy?
This is the first home conference game this season for the Wildcats. ACU is 10-8 at home against the Western Athletic Conference in its previous 2 seasons. Last year's top 3 ACU scorers against the WAC are back this season. Ali Abdo-Dibba, Emmanuel Allen, and Arion Simmons all averaged double digits in the WAC games last season. Andy, back to you.
Thank you, Daisy. As Mashai Hill, 2 of 2 at the line. Of course, any conference or any team, you want to protect the home floor, steal what you can on the road. So first chance to do that here on the home floor. Again, Iggy Yehan is on the floor. Mashai Hill has checked out. First time also on the floor, Emmanuel Allen. He wears number 25 for ACU. Cajuste, top of the key, and around the perimeter it goes. With the dribble, Bosiako. Into the paint. Hook shot up and good. Bosiako at 8 points a game, 4 double-figure games in their first 7.
We're going to see how guys can hang and fare with the one-on-one matchups in Bosiako with the size. Just able to turn around that front shoulder and get an easy hook shot.
McLean loses it, another turnover here for the Wildcats. Pressure you is what they like to call him in Nacogdoches. Pressure, pressure, pressure. That's what Brett Tanner talked about in our time together yesterday. 3 on the right side. Jostle left it short. Long rebound. McLean on the floor gets possession for the Wildcats.
Really good ball movement and a good top of the key shot for SFA. Looking for a 3 where the numbers have favored the Lumberjacks so far, but a miss and good job by the Wildcats getting 2 hands on the rebound.
Allen, his first touch. Entry pass deflected right back into his hands. Manny will put it on the floor, kick out. Madden a look at a 3, whistle though, and a charge call on the inside. Emmanuel Allen on his way to the bucket. Ran over the Lumberjack defender. He gets called for the offensive foul. That's Jostle coming over, taking the charge.
And just really smart away from the ball, seeing where the weak side of his defense is and stepping in. That's a trump card that's really tough because you're going to the rim so strong.
Our officials tonight, Thomas Nunez, Nomi Kodai, Roderick Dixon. 3-man officiating crew. Jostle, entry pass, it's on the left side. Nice spin move, baseline. Shot left short by Hall. Still loose, whistle, and officials come together, and I believe a jump ball called here.
Yeah, I think a top hand was on top of the basketball when the shot was going up. So it flips it back to the Wildcats. And Andy, offensively, ACU 3 for 6, but 5 for 8 for Stephen F. Austin. So just looking for more quality trips down this end of the floor.
And another foul here. It's Frank Stain, the transfer from Utah Tech. He's familiar with the WAC, familiar with ACU, and playing here in Abilene. Now wears an SFA uniform for his first season. Nasir DeGroot runs the point as he's checked in. Allen on the right side with the dribble. Baseline pass stolen away. Kajus the steal. Chance to run for the Lumberjacks. Entry pass, Hall puts it on the floor one time, puts it up off the glass, too strong and no good. Gets his own rebound. Second chance for the Lumberjacks. Stain the mid-range jumper, too strong and out. Boy, 2 good looks for SFA. They just don't get any points out of that trip.
You can see teams still a little bit rusty, trying to find a little bit of a rhythm. It's already in conference play.
DeGroot will shoot from 10 and puts it up and in. DeGroot, the sophomore, 6'4", 180 pounds, out of New Orleans.
He started the last 4 games, and that pull-up jumper right off the dribble sure looked good. They'll take that production off the bench.
Entry to Bosiaco, loses it. DeGroot by himself in transition will pull it out. Find Madden, the trailer. 3-bomb off the rim and no good.
Well, that's where he's been effective. You've got to do a better job finding him in transition.
All top of the key. And we featured Hall in the open. WAC preseason first team called for a travel here. Hall started the year strong. He scored in double figures each of the first 4 games, but has not been in double figures the last 3. Maybe part of the reason Coach Keller did not have him in the starting lineup tonight.
And waiting for pieces to come along, and he said too, we'll be just fine, we'll figure things out, but waiting for that consistency to find itself. You mentioned the double figures scoring. Hall, the leader in field goal percentage in the conference last year, and the second most double-doubles with 6 this year so far. Andy, none.
Substitutions galore again for both teams. As here's a pass, too tall, and turnover. Matt Heyman is back in. Krishan Christmas back in. Kamari Wilson also back in. As is Clayton Southwood.
Just ironing these types of things out. It's a good drive and it's a good backside cut, but just trying to find that rhythm where those passes aren't off the top of your fingertips.
JV Seat for the Wildcats. His first action tonight. The sophomore out of Edmond, Oklahoma. He wears number 0. There's a shot up, too strong, no good. Heyman, though, on his way to the free throw line. Timeout on the floor here. Back and forth game. SFA holds on to an early 2-point lead here at Moody Coliseum.
Game changers and risk takers who never play small. Creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
ACU TV is really special because you have an opportunity to dive in and to get started day one.
You could start out on camera or you could start out in the studio, but if you want to direct or if you want to TD or if you want to operate cameras or do replays, you have the opportunity to do all of that and learn.
If you have any love or any interest in TV or just really want to find a community of people who want to work hard and follow their passions, that's what ACU TV is.
For the Lumberjacks. Been back and forth here for both teams. Turnovers really the name of the game. There's been a bunch. SFA already 8 turnovers. ACU's turned it over 7 times. Because of that, the score maybe not as high as we might anticipate. Still an early 2-point lead.
And both these teams not really cashing in, getting points off of those turnovers to go right off of that. Each team with a bucket off of the combined 15 turnovers.
First free throws here tonight for SFA. It's Matt Heyman at the line. He'll make the first. SFA as a team shoots at 73%. Kyle Keller and company. Second one is up and good. SFA an early rebound lead here at 7-2. Brett Tanner talked about the pressure of SFA as well as their rebounding. Here's a backdoor cut and a layup. Arion Simmons.
A little rhythm there. That's what they're looking for on offense. It hasn't seemed like there's been a quick trip and an in-sync bucket like that one so far for ACU, Andy.
Simmons coming off a 17-point game at UTA. Southwick too strong at the glass. ACU a chance to tie. And another turnover. Here you see a look at that backdoor cut. Good pass here, good point guard play. And an assist to Arion with the easy layup.
It's that body too, the big body of Arion Simmons able to take some of the contact inside and finish. And then right off of that trip down the floor, not on the same page, the Wildcats. So still trying to get some things figured out here as we approach the halfway point in the first half.
Brett Tanner's been really pleased with Arion's play this year. He says he's back to the old Arion. He's been playing his game again. He's been driving the basketball, not settling for three-pointers. He said a lot of last year Arion wanted to shoot that three top of the key, but realizes his big body frame at 6'5", 265, a chance to get to the rim. He comes up with the basketball here. ACU a second trip in a row, a chance to tie. Seat with the drive. Has the ball tied up. Free throws coming though for JV.
That's a good way to reward just taking your matchup that you've got. And that's Seat right there, just taking his man all the way to the rim. Looked like it could have been good contact by Heyman on top of the ball. Maybe the body is what they saw. But get to the rim, get to the free throw line, and try and match that physicality that you're getting from SFA.
Seat at the line. First one rolls out. JV at 3 points a game. The Oklahoma Gatorade Player of the Year in his senior year at high school, then back in 2022. Chance to go 1 for 2 at the line. He'll hit the second. Madden, a short breather. He's right back on the floor. SFA has led the majority here of the first 9 minutes. They've got a 1-point lead. Heyman top of the key, entry pass, Southwick. Back out Jostle, shot fake, entry pass. Heyman a three, top of the key, left it short. Dibba up strong for a rebound.
And the rip too, Andy. ACU has not had that many rebounds so far, but now 2 trips down the floor, able to come up with a rebound, and then Dibba with the physicality to secure it.
There's Dibba on the drive, high off the glass, too strong. Cleaned up by Krishan Christmas. Heyman in the front court, into the paint, spin move, popped out of his hands by Simmons. It's another turnover. And now, Chris, this is
what's a track meet?
Yeah, 4th possession now. Wildcats can take the lead. Blocks from behind is Madden. Christmas got him from behind. ACU 5 of 10 from the field. SFA at 5 of 12. Southwick backs in. Shot blocked by Simmons. And the rock fight continues. DeGrew, spin move, layup, high up the glass, got the Moody Coliseum roll. Highlight worthy there from Nasir DeGrew. Wildcats have the lead. And now Simmons a steal. One-on-one with Stone, fouled hard, and this one will have a chance at intentional, and I think it is.
Simmons lost a shoe. You got to calm it down here a little bit. That's some physicality that, of course, you want to try and make nothing free at the rim, but that's a lot.
You can see Simmons and his teammates as Arion got the steal, and then, just a full body shove there by Jawani Stone. Took out the camera. There will be multiple free throws here. We'll try to get the call. Flagrant foul has been called on Jawani Stone. The official Roderick Dixon comes over and lets us know, man, just a body shot. Arion kept his cool.
Yeah, and that's Dibba and Madden there pretty quickly to try and dump water on the situation.
So Simmons to get free throws. Chance to really stretch this thing out. One more look here, baseline. Look out, camera.
Whoops.
Second free throw good. 2-for-2 trip there for Arion. Now a little run here for ACU to take this lead. They're on a 6-0 run.
This is what bit Stephen F. Austin in their Achilles heel in the last game, is going without field goals. Of course, when they dropped the game to Tarleton, it was in a really pivotal spot in the second half. This is the first, but it was no field goals over about a 7-minute stretch from the 9-minute mark to the 2-minute mark. And right now, of their last 7 from the field.
Kyle Keller took Stone out of the game. Hall is back in. Balbram also on the floor. Now whistle to travel. Another turnover. Leonardo Betiol on the floor for ACU for the first time. He wears number 3. SFA is at 2.5 minutes in a scoring drought. 0 for their last 7 from the field. And here another stolen pass. Chance to run. Dibbo off the glass, no good. BTO, the offensive rebound. He's fouled on the putback attempt.
And just a really good follow by BTO, knowing that Dibba was going to have at least a body, if not 2, on him on the first attempt. Hanging around right there and trying to go with the quick putback. I think that's Jostle that they're going to tag that on.
At the line, Leonardo Betiol.
Not only are the turnovers racking up, already 12 for SFA. Now the fouls are at 6. BTO at the line, and the first one good. Leonardo, the sophomore. Played for the Italian national team before coming over to the States. Red-shirted 21-22. He's here in uniform this year. And the free throw is up and good. Now an 8-0 run for the Wildcats, their largest lead at 5.
You've got some bodies right now, as I think there was some confusion.
And I believe a timeout taken, 30-second timeout taken by SFA. But now, Chris, actually a 9-0 run here for ACU to build this 5-point lead. And boy, SFA just very disjointed, and you had a chance, I know both of us had a chance to hear from Kyle Keller yesterday, and he talked about point guard play being big. It's just been inconsistent. If you're going to win championships, you have to have good point guard play.
Yeah, you certainly do, and it's been tough for this year so far with trying to get some of the guys that they do roll back. It's a team that's really experienced, so it's just trying to iron the things out that you can in conference play so you can be battle ready by the time the WAC schedule rolls around this year. A pair of games that the conference has to answer to before they can flip the calendar year, but you're seeing some of the things here early, Andy, I think are just passes before you know where the ball is going to, hoping that guys are going to be there. And we've seen it from both teams, guys jumping into passing lanes and capitalizing on that, forcing some turnovers.
The juice is on the floor. Bobrin, Hall, Stain. And also in is Christmas. It's turnover number 13 here for SFA. That's just a lob pass that's well too strong and out of bounds on the baseline.
And again, it's a lot of the turnovers that you're seeing, one similar like that, are the right idea, but it's just trying to figure out and get in a rhythm of where those teammates are, and you know, you'll see an identity. You'll see those things get figured out as the year goes along.
And after the bad pass, Bobrin checks out. Boasiako is on the floor. BTL backdoor cut McLean, now to steal in the paint. Turnaround shot. Falls off the front of the rim, no good. Scoring drought at now over 3 minutes. Stain in the paint, up strong and good. That'll stop the 9-0 run. Stain his first 2 tonight.
And they liked Stain coming off the bench in the last game against Tarleton at home. 13 points on him, 21 minutes.
BTL right back on the other side. Nice entry pass and finish. BTL's a guy that only gets 6 minutes a game, 2.5 points. He's at 4 already here in the first half. Wildcats by 5. Under 8 minutes we go. Stain a 3, back-to-back trips. Frank Stain puts points on the board, this time from 3. 4-year member at Utah Tech, started 97 games. His time as a Trailblazer. Here's BTL again on the inside.
How about the look, too, from McLean, top of the key. Put it where only his teammate could go snag it, and then the quick finish before the help could arrive.
That's 6 for BTL, the leading scorer for the Wildcats. Stain has it in his hand, gives to Hall. Hall a chance to drive. Jump stop, kicks out in the corner. It's Christmas. Back to Hall. Right side, too strong, no good. Cameron Steele cleans it up. There's Betty All again. Turnaround shot, left the baby hook short. Hall has not scored yet tonight. Our impact player for the Lumberjacks. The WAC preseason all-conference first team. Day Hall. Kajus to Christmas. 3 left side. Falls off, no good. Whistle. Looks like we'll have a foul on the floor. Wildcats on a little bit of a run. SFA just 2 of their last 10. ACU's got a 4-point lead. 6.5 to go first half.
Back to Moody Coliseum. The score is 23-19. ACU in the lead. And hey, we're feeling awfully festive here in Moody Coliseum for the 12th annual Christmas Slam, the Winter Holiday Classic, kicking off the holiday season for ACU men and women's basketball. Here at Moody Coliseum, they're giving out free hot chocolate, Santa hats, and even raffle tickets. Starting WAC conference here at Moody Coliseum. Guys, back to you.
The baseline down there, nicely done. Yeah, it's Christmas time. I would guess Krishan Christmas for SFA.
Yeah.
Probably, he probably likes the month of December.
Yeah, probably 11 months out of the year you got to deal with the last name Christmas, but right around this time, it's his time.
ACU, a 14-8 edge in the paint. Out of the timeout, an inbounds pass to Frank Stain. He keeps the hot hand. That's 7 in a row for SFA. The leading scorer for the Lumberjacks with 7. Jossel has 5. BTL leads the way for ACU. He's got 6. DeGrew with 4. Dibba with 4. Simmons also with 4. Now here's a pass, almost stolen by Stain. Again, Stain, 4-year member at Utah Tech. He started 97 games. He's played ACU 3 times in his career. He's 0 for 3 versus the Wildcats as a Trailblazer, but he's doing all he can here. You see the offensive foul there on Igiehan.
And just not set. A little bit of a drift, trying to set that screen. Short time on the shot clock, too.
Igiehan, another WAC transfer, and now a whistle, and foul here on the Lumberjacks. Kamari Wilson didn't like the call. I didn't quite see it. It looked like a handoff. Maybe an illegal screen on the handoff.
Well, he thought Emmanuel Allen kind of came through hard and was the disruptor in that, and then Wilson walks away with, he was trying to use the body to prevent the turnover.
Turnover number 13. ACU with 10 turnovers. Simmons lob pass, Iggy Ahan. Right side, can't control it. Lumberjacks another takeaway. Trying to tie it back up, take the lead with a 3.
25 combined turnovers.
Southwick with a step, picks up the dribble. 14 on the shot clock for Stain. Entry pass. It's Boasiako, left-handed baby hook. No good, and last touched by the Lumberjacks on its way out of bounds.
I know the coaches won't like us keeping an eye on those turnovers, but I mean, that's, at this point, they're fortunate that the lead for both teams is not one way or the other. It's been something that, you know it's going to be a physical matchup. There's going to be a lot of up and down, but a number that both teams are hoping can shrink big time, as we're not even at the end of the first half yet.
ACU at 8 of 17 shooting, 0 for 4 from deep, but they are 7 of 8 at the free throw line. SFA at 8 of 19 shooting, that's 42%, 3 of 6 from deep. The entry pass knocked away. 12 on the shot clock for the Wildcats.
Hunter Jack Madden 0 for 3. Let's see what type of spark he could provide if a shot goes in on this end of the floor. They really are driven by him on the offensive side.
BD all back in. Madden will get a look right on cue. It's off the back rim. Straight on a drive, coast to coast, too strong for Christmas. No second chance opportunities. Wildcats done a nice job defensively. Now BD on a breakout. Defensive rebound running the floor. 8 points now for Leonardo. It's a season high. Another turnover. Here come the Wildcats' chance to run. Number Simmons, Madden, 3, right side. Too strong, no good.
He just can't get it going right now, Andy. And a 4-point lead could be a heck of a lot more if a couple of his shots go down. They're open looks. Just got to keep pulling.
Madden, a 58% three-point shooter coming in, 14 of 24.
It's insane from outside.
Two different games with 4 three-pointers made. Wilson from 15, too strong. Boburn almost the putback finish. Wildcats a chance to run. Dibba left side blocked at the rim by Stain. The rock fight continues here in Abilene. And another loose basketball. Here comes Simmons. He'll take it to the rack. Fouled on his way there by Boasiako. Timeout on the floor. Wildcats hanging on to a 4-point lead. Simmons will be at the free throw line when we come back.
Our early leaders sought a new campus on which to build a better future. Surely they could not have imagined how much their vision would grow. Today, Abilene Christian is recognized in national benchmarks for student success outcomes, research productivity, and athletic accomplishments. As we embark on next steps, we are uniquely poised to become one of the nation's premier Christian universities. We invite you to join us. We will climb higher together.
Welcome home, Wildcats. Moody Coliseum, the longtime home of ACU basketball, is back.
This is the premier Look at that gem.
Doctors and nurses.
And a happy holidays to you as we've turned the calendar here to the month of December. Festive atmosphere here at Moody Coliseum tonight. ACU's got the 4-point lead. Andy Penny alongside Chris Jarrett. Both teams have been exchanging gifts in the form of turnovers here in this first half.
Man, definitely a list to clean up, things to tidy up on offense, but you know, this is kind of what we had advertised. I know the turnovers are an ugly thing to come with it, but it's the nature of the beast when you've got these two teams playing so far outside of the perimeter, as physical as they are, and turnovers have definitely come with it. But you know, looking at points in the paint, Wildcats 16-8, so getting inside, but still SFA 3 for 6 from outside.
Simmons misses the first. Yeah, we talked about Daisy featured last year's game here in Abilene, a double overtime thriller. SFA the win, 91-87. SFA won both games a year ago. They've won 4 of the last 5 in the series. ACU's lone win came in the WAC tournament 2 years ago. It's a year that SFA won the WAC regular season. Go to Las Vegas. Of course, the lower seeded teams have to win games. The higher seeds get buys. It was ACU, after 2 victories, knocked out the Lumberjacks to get to the championship game where they fell to New Mexico State.
And if there's a game out of those 4 out of those 5 that they'd like to take away, it was that one in Vegas.
1 for 2 for Simmons at the line. It's a 5-point spread. Look at the shot clock, no good by Cajuste. Offensive rebound and put back by Heyman. ACU winning, or check that, SFA winning the total rebound category, 15-10. That's their 4th offensive rebound. Heyman the second chance points. Steele works the right side with Deba. Madden, DeGrew, a look at a 3, left wing, too strong. Day Hall has it for the Lumberjacks. Still looks for his first points tonight. He's 0 for 3. Jostle from top. He's got it. Deep-rooted 3. Brett Tanner unhappy with his transition defense. Jostle buries the 3. A 45% three-point shooter coming in. His second make from deep tonight. He's got 8 to lead the Lumberjacks. We're back even with 2:15 left in the first half.
Boy, and his heels are on the logo when he pulls that. I know it's a big logo here, but that's the difference, I think, right now is you can look at for ACU, Andy. They're getting to the free throw line where Stephen F. Austin just 1 trip there, but it's triples from outside where Stephen F. Austin is keeping this a close matchup now. Wildcats still without a triple to go down. You got to think it's going to pump some juice back inside this building and really get things going on offense. A lot of open looks from 3, but the first one through the door just has not gone down yet.
2 trips, 5 points. We're back to even here at 26. Coach Tanner harped to his team all week long. We have to be consistent. He's been disappointed. Consistency, and he does not think this lineup has put out their best effort yet. A chance to continue here. Debo will get to the rim and finish. He's got 6. ACU back by 2. Hall on BTL. Spin move, lost the basketball. It's another turnover. Now DeGrew loses it right back. Out of bounds, last touch by SFA. Check it out, put your seatbelt on in your living room. Here comes Deba.
This camera's gotten a lot of action tonight so far. Bonk.
Is there hazard pay for that stationary camera down there? That's twice.
It's the second time that we're having to reset it. I feel bad for whoever's got to keep resetting that darn thing. Because the way this game's gone, I think there might be a 3rd time here so far.
Simmons and McLean back on the floor. Here's a pass, almost stolen away by Hall. ACU will keep it.
Speaking of hazard pay.
Boy, almost in our living room. Critical game here in Abilene. Both of these teams 0-1 in conference. Again, this is a unique WAC setup, a 20-game conference schedule, but 2 right out of the chutes. As Steele's fouled from behind, he'll go to the line. But 2 games here in late November, early December, and then a month away from WAC conference play. Go back out of conference. WAC play picks up after the new year. So Brett Tanner said, hey, we're looking at the long term. No doubt about that. We want to get better. We want to trust the process. He said he didn't put too much emphasis on these first 2 games. He didn't hype them up too much. He said nobody in the WAC is playing their best basketball yet. You have to trust the process. However, on the flip side of that, somebody will have to sit on an 0-2 conference record for a month.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. And you know, this is a Wildcats team that still has to answer to Arkansas and Fayetteville, and then they've got Western Kentucky as well before they can flip it to January. So a difficult end to the non-conference. But if you're ACU, you look at your opponents. You go to Arlington, take on the Mavericks, and then now here home against Stephen F. Austin. These are teams that are right kind of in that mid-section of the preseason polls in the WAC. So, you know, when you're talking about Brett Tanner's approach, let's just roll it out. Let's see how we can go on the road, and then let's see how we can check the scout, watch some film, and come back and have a quick rollover at home.
He said he's been pleased with the outcome thus far. Of course, 3-4 the record, but he said this is the toughest schedule that ACU's played this early, which means they've beaten some pretty good teams, and they have. Oklahoma State, San Jose State, Fordham, the 3 wins thus far. 1 and done, chance for Deba to push, and he will. Puts it on the rim, too strong. Hall cleans up the rebound. Jostle into the corner, Heyman. Too strong on the corner 3. Heyman runs down his loose basketball. Jostle penetrates, kicks, spin move, Heyman, entry pass, and the shot blocked. Stone tries to go up with it, he's fouled. Hey, coming up at the half, stay with us. Coy Oslin, Connor Mullins, they're upstairs. Hey guys, how we doing? They'll have all your halftime first half analysis, as well as look around some other exciting things here at ACU. That's upstairs, Connor and Coy. They're prepping.
Yeah.
They'll have you at halftime. That'll make the Christmas bloopers.
Yeah.
Oh. BT all back in. Second free throw is good by Stone. Stone's first point here in the first half. 3-point lead for ACU, under a minute we go. Simmons drives, has it knocked away, steps on the baseline. Got away with the travel top of the key. Steps on the baseline after his shot's blocked.
Yeah, could have put a couple feet down, could have maybe seen a travel there, but a strong take, and then almost was able to get his own rebound back, bail it out. It's an important 40 seconds. Can Stephen F. Austin work this to a 1-point? Maybe take a lead or
try
tie
to get
it.
a 2 for 1 on possessions here. It doesn't matter. It's a travel on Wilson. SFA on the season, averaging 18 turnovers a game. It only took them 19 minutes and some change. Turnover number 18 here in the first half.
30 combined between the two. Sometimes these things just kind of bleed over into each other when your opponent is turning the ball over. Sometimes you can't help yourself but do the same.
A chance for a 2 for 1 here for ACU if they want it. 8.5 second difference. Game clock and shot clock. A few substitutions here for both teams. Long pass. Dibba one-on-one, and he'll put it up on the left side of the glass. It's up and good. Not only does he score, it's a 2 for 1 here for ACU.
Yeah, big time. Still some time to work with if you can get a stop.
5 second difference, game clock and shot clock. Largest lead of the first half for the Wildcats. Kajus will run the shot clock down. Get a shot up in the last 10 seconds. 10 on the shot clock. McLean one-on-one, top of the key. Kajus to Hall. 3 on the left side, too strong. Offensive rebound, Christmas back up, too strong. And that's how half number 1 will come to an end. A few more rocks thrown by ACU than SFA in the first half. It's their largest lead here at the halftime break. ACU 32, SFA 27. Connor and Coy are upstairs. They've got more here from Moody Coliseum. But first, Daisy Strine will be down courtside with Brett Tanner. Daisy, it's all yours.
Coach, how do you think your defense is putting up with this strong SFA team?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pleased. We forced, I don't know what the final count was, but with about 8 minutes left, we had forced 16 turnovers. That's pretty good. What we got to do is start capitalizing on them. You know, we just haven't scored very good on them.
What are you expecting from your guys in the second half?
We got to keep up the defensive pressure, and then we've got to be better down here in the half court rebounding the basketball.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Guys, back to you.
Great job, Daisy. Again, 32-27, ACU the 5-point lead. We'll send it upstairs. It's Connor and Coy. They'll take you through halftime here at Moody Coliseum. Glad you're with us. WAC basketball on ESPN.
And welcome back to Abilene, Texas, where ACU is on top of Stephen F. Austin 32-27. And welcome to the halftime show. Coy Oslin, my friend Connor Mullins. We're going to talk about this game. We're going to talk about the history of this game. Connor, let's talk about the first half, though. ACU, I said, up 32-27. It's been a defensive battle and a lot of turnovers for these two teams.
Absolutely, Coy, and it's always a defensive battle between these two schools that go back decades. It feels like they always have strong defensive battles. About 30 turnovers between the two teams in that first half. ACU gets 12 points off of those 12 turnovers. Always a fun night when ACU and SFA go off.
Yeah, 18 turnovers for SFA, 12 for ACU. ACU had a big scoring run, 9 points in a little under 3 minutes. It's been a good game. SFA, Latrey Jostle, 8 points, and Leonardo Bettiol, 8 points for ACU. Back and forth. The history of these two teams, though, Brett Tanner super familiar with SFA, and Kyle Keller really familiar with ACU.
Absolutely. You know, Brett Tanner used to coach at SFA as an assistant, and now he knows what to do to beat this SFA team, but he hasn't done it in a couple years. It's been since January of 2021 that he beat SFA in Abilene, and they're 5-12 against the Lumberjacks, so they go way back. This is one of the best mid-major matchups of the night in college basketball, 100%.
Yeah, purple-white all throughout this conference, and between these two teams, they'll play again in February, on February 17th in Nacogdoches. Let's look at the second half, Connor. What are you thinking these two teams need to do?
It's going to continue to be a defensive battle between these two programs, but ACU's got to continue to capitalize off of turnovers, get to the free throw line, and make it count. You know, they got to get those free throws. They were 8 for 10 from the line in that first half, and Bettiol led the way, Dibble led the way. It's going to be exciting between these two schools. And for SFA, just continue what you're doing, limit the points off turnovers for ACU.
Yeah, and that's really what they've got to do. You've got to limit those turnovers and look to the future. So these two teams, like I said, little mistakes. You got to figure that out, and then you got to get that ball moving better if you're SFA. Connor, anything else?
It's going to be an exciting first half here at Christmas Slam here at Moody Coliseum.
All righty, that's it for us. We'll see you in the second half.
Getting ready to start the second half here. ACU a 5-point lead at 32-27. Andy Penny alongside Chris Jarrett. Chris, if I'd have told you it's a rock fight, we've been talking about it all night long, I'd say the narrative is true. Both of our leading scorers, Day-Day Hall, Hunter Jack Madden, did not score in the first half. A combined 30 turnovers by these two teams in the first half.
Yeah, you know, and it's ugly, and we talked about it, and you heard Brett Tanner say it right before halftime, that's something that we're just going to have to fix and limit the turnovers and do a better job of that. But you're getting production from other guys. I think those are valuable things, is that as you move forward in the season, if your guys that you normally turn to aren't scoring, you're forcing yourself right now tonight in a situation of where can we find the rest of the production from to win the ball game. So both of these teams hitting the locker room, trying to make their adjustments and tidy some things up. And a little bit of a low-scoring affair for most of the first half. It picked up pace there, but wonder if we start to see some points start to fly off the scoreboard here in the second half.
Bench scoring for the two teams. SFA with 14 points off the bench. ACU had 15. Leonardo Bettiol leads all scores with 8 points for ACU. Latrell Jostle also has 8 for SFA. He was 2 for 4 from behind the three-point line. As ACU was 4 for 10 from deep. ACU without a three-point make in that first half. 0 for 6 in that first half of play. What type of adjustments did these two teams make at halftime? We will find out as SFA gets the basketball to start the second half. And turnover number 19 by the Lumberjacks leads to a breakout. Kavion McLean fouled.
Andy, if that is not how the first half went, I don't know how else it could have gone. A steal from Arion Simmons. That's number 6 for the big man tonight. They push, get the shot attempt inside, a foul, and they're going to the free throw line. They did all of those facets really well in the first half. You can see Brett Tanner pleased with how this team comes out the gate here to start the second.
ACU in the first half, 42% from the field, 11 of 26. But again, 0 for 6 from behind three-point line. They were 10 of 12, make it 11 of 13 now at the charity stripe. SFA 10 of 28 in the first half, 36%. 4 for 10 from deep, just 4 free throw attempts in the first half. They were 3 for 4 from the line. McLean 2 of 3, it's the largest lead for the Wildcats here at 7.
And an 86% free throw shooter on the season, guy that averages about 25 minutes a night. Get him some more touches at the stripe.
SFA down by 7. Kajus hands the basketball. Southwick's on the floor with him as well as Bobrin, Christmas, and Jostle, the 5 on the floor. Foul here on Arion Simmons. Kyle Keller's been in this spot before. He's been around a long time. It's a team that has a high winning percentage under his leadership. 149 and 72 in his time. 67%, 671 winning percentage. Southwick finds a cutting Jostle. And a Christmas, a look at a 3. Left it short, tip no good. Hunter Jack Madden with a breakout. Hunter Jack scoreless again, the leading scorer for ACU at 13.4. 0 in the first half. Now a pass, too strong, and a turnover here back. So the narrative of the first half continues here, a minute deep in half number 2.
Good drive, good idea, but just again, a little bit too tall. Trying to find Dibba slashing down the middle.
Jostle had 8 points in the first half. Frank Stain off the bench had 7. 3 for Bobrin, 4 for Heyman in that first half. Entry pass, a nice entry pass. The lob pass finds Bobrin. He's fouled from behind by Cameron Steele.
Boy, just the physicality inside matches the tempo that we've got in this ball game. Nothing free inside the paint tonight.
Be interesting to see if SFA and Coach Keller try to get the ball down into the paint a little bit more.
Well, I think that would lead to this. That would lead to more free throw opportunities where only 3 for 4 on the night in the first half in entirety.
Bobrin at 6'9", 240. Hall's at 6'5", 210. Of course, Boasiako 6'9", 235. Southwick at 6'8", 235. One for 2 trip at the line. Ball's tapped out of bounds. Go the way of the Wildcats.
Here's something we really didn't see too much is a full court look, some pressure, full length of the floor, but broken pretty easily. It's just a soft pressure.
McLean, a too high screen, he'll go left. Into the paint, contact, charge. Jostle there to take the charge. Back-to-back trips with turnover.
And it's a good key in knowing that ACU is going to want to try to crash, get inside the paint, and get to the free throw line. So you're going to need your helping guys step in and take charges like that. That's a great way to get a stop quickly and flip the script.
That's the second charge Jostle's taken tonight. Kajus going left. ACU plays half-court man-to-man. Jostle, look at a 3. Too strong. And a run out from McLean. By himself, decides to pull it out and set up the half-court offense. Steele a look on the baseline. Off the rim and no good. Cameron Steele a quiet first half as well. Just 2 points for Cameron. On a drive, Christmas off the glass and in.
Christmas.
3 in a row here for SFA, back to a 4-point game. Largest lead tonight for either team has been 7, just a moment ago. Simmons, backdoor cut, Diva tries to throw it down. He's fouled on the attempt. Some more words being exchanged, and a whistle and technical fouls have been issued. Things got a little chippy in the first half as we had a flagrant foul on Jelani Stone and Arion Simmons.
And this is kind of how you put an end to it, is just stop everything and give all 10 guys a good talking to here on the floor, because it's been chippy from the start. It hasn't really boiled over like it did just the one time in the first half on a tough take to the rim.
There's a good look here. Tough foul. Jocelyn Christmas both come over. Diva takes a little offense to it. He and Jocelyn exchange words, and a great job jumping in a hurry. Thomas Nunez jumped in. The official issued technical fouls.
That'll be free throws for the Wildcats. We also had technical fouls called on both Ali Diva and Latrell Jossel as well.
Jocelyn and Diva both pick up technical fouls. Those also work as personal fouls, I believe. The officials talking about it at the scores table.
It's the third on Jossel, Andy. He's got 2 of the 4 threes that have gone down tonight for SFA. So if he gets in foul trouble, it's going to be a tough rest of the way to go.
Diva, the technical as well. He's at the line to shoot 2.
Diva for 2.
First one is up and good. Diva, a nice first half, had 8 points, 4 of 8 shooting. He's been in double figures 6 of the 7 games. He's 1 point away from making that 7 out of 8. From Stockholm, Sweden, the transfer from Chicago State. Former member of the WAC, Chicago State. 2 for 2 at the line. 6-point spread for the Wildcats.
Jossel does go to the bench as the Lumberjacks' leading scorer. So we talked about where you can go when you don't have your production out on the floor or don't exactly have it going on. So let's see who or what SFA turns to here to get it going.
Leading scorer Stain is back in. Entry pass and a nice one. Bobrin behind the defense. Miscommunication on the backside. Left Bobrin all alone on the block. Madden, a lob pass to Steele. Nice catch. Blocked out of bounds, though, by Bobrin.
Blocked out of bounds. Defensive fail. Stay with ACU.
See here, Steele just blocked from behind.
It's been the trend. Tough inside on the paint. I'm sure the Jacks not happy with ACU's 20 points inside the paint tonight.
DeGrew is back on the floor as the point guard. He's got it right side. Mashai Hill, number 11, also back on the floor. DeGrew finds a seam. Layup up and good. Whistle and a foul. Chance for a 3-point play. Finds a seam down the right side. Little floater from 5 feet out.
When DeGrew looked comfortable getting knocked off balance there. Just all he's got to do is get a good snapshot right where that window is. Hangs it high off the glass. And chance for a 3-point play would be the first 3-point trip down on the floor with no threes tonight for the Wildcats.
DeGrew's season high this year is 8 points. He did that versus Prairie View here on the home floor. This is only the second home game, so he really likes the Moody Coliseum home floor. He's got 7 now tonight. It's a 7-point lead for ACU. Wilson up the floor, and Boasiako is fouled. Another tough foul. Boy, every foul tonight is, you're not going to earn anything. Even our camera almost took another shot.
Flinched right there if the camera could. Boasiako, a good job of taking that one strong power dribble, getting to the block, and then the shot fake. At that point, it's tough to try to settle things down.
Boasiako, his 4th season at SFA. He's the local product out of Nacogdoches. Played there for Nacogdoches High, the Dragons. Started 29 out of 30 games a year ago. Averaged 7.5 a year ago. He's at 8 points a game this year. Misses the first. try here for point number 3. And this one is up and good. ACU's led the entire second half. Took the lead with about 6 minutes left in half number 1, and they've sustained it ever since. Madden still scoreless. He's got it on the left side. Into the corner. 3, no good from Allen. The 0 for behind the three-point line continues. Stain will drive. He's into the paint. Layup up and good. Frank Stain, the transfer from Utah Tech, having himself a game. That's 9 for the transfer.
Just left the Wildcats in the dust, now the leading scorer for the Jacks.
Back to a 4-point spread. Both teams right at 40% field goal percentage. Here's Allen down the baseline. Lost it. Madden's got it. Back to Allen. Look at a 3, left corner. Got it! First one from deep for the Wildcats. Whistle away from the basketball, and ACU's foul. Under 16 timeouts, second half. Wildcats have their largest lead of the night. It stands at 7 here in Abilene.
I always dreamed of doing something that would make a difference, and so getting as much knowledge as possible was important to me. I love the fact that you can dream a new reality and then see it come true with hard work. Today, I know I'm making a difference, and a big part of seeing my dream come true was when I got my master's at ACU.
Get your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian.
For years, I trained to be the best linebacker on the field. That drive made me a top performer at the NFL Combine, and I played 5 seasons in the NFL. Now I'm working toward another dream, building my own business, training athletes to help improve their performance. I want to be the best businessman I can, so I'm getting my MBA at ACU.
Get your degree online at acu.edu.
Plus, streaming on the ESPN Plus is the Brett Tanner Show. Get a behind-the-scenes look at the Wildcat men's basketball program from Coach Tanner and special guest as well. Wednesday at 10 o'clock, streaming on ESPN Plus. Hey, let's send it courtside. Third member of our team, it's Daisy Stride down courtside. Daisy?
Thank you, Andy. Earlier this week, Stephen F. Austin head coach Kyle Keller explained his great respect and friendship with Coach Brett Tanner through the game of basketball and the amazing strides Coach Tanner made for the SFA basketball program in his 7 years of coaching there before he came to ACU in 2013. Andy, back to you.
Daisy, yeah, these coaches, I tell you, the fraternity is tight, and you know they cross paths so many times. Brett Tanner, prior to ACU, was at SFA, as Daisy mentioned, and mutual respect from these guys, Keller and Tanner, and the programs that they now lead here, SFA and ACU.
Well, and Keller wasted no time telling us too, just giving so much respect and kudos to Tanner and what he was able to build, not only at SFA, but what he was able to do at ACU as well.
I asked Coach Tanner yesterday, I said, do you get, a little sentimental when you play SFA? Sure. And he said, it's been so long ago, my purple blood is full ACU. I love SFA and my time there, but it's full ACU now when these two teams get on the floor. Here's Stain with a lane, driving in. Wild shot, but he's fouled. Contested by Simmons, but Arion with another hard foul. It's Arion's second. Six team fouls here in the second half already.
We're going to keep an eye on that as well with how physical this game's been. So fortunate for Simmons, just number 2 But fouls are certainly going to be at a premium in terms of fouls that you can spare down the stretch. With how this game's gone, a 7-point lead as of now a 6-point lead, just seems like this game is going to come down to the wire. Of course, it's what we had last time.
Jossel, the only player for either team with 3 fouls, so no individual foul trouble, but again, 16 fouls already. Make that 7 on ACU. So Lumberjacks will shoot free throws the rest of the game. Here's DeGroot, shot off the side of the backboard. Highly contested. Heyman with the dribble, gives to Wilson between the circles. BTO back on the floor, the leading scorer for ACU there in the first half, had 8. Look at a 3, Wilson, right side. Around the rim, falls out, BTO the rebound. Boy, this is just a battle of attrition, I tell you. Double screen for DeGroot going left. 12 on the shot clock.
Trying to get Jack Madden a touch here.
With the screen, Hunter Jack. Now with a seam, driving in, dishing out into the corner. Ball's loose, deflected, last touched. I believe last touched by Allen on the far side. ACU touched it last.
Yeah, and what ACU is trying to say is there was a change of possession. If it's off Stephen F. Austin, it'll be here, clean 30. But last touch by ACU, they get it right.
It's turnover number 15 for the Wildcats. Foul here on Madden out in the front court.
And tempers and passion really starting to pick up on both sidelines right now.
That's his second of the game, team foul number 8.
JV Seat, McLean, Diva all back in here for the Wildcats. Another foul, more free throws here for Heyman. And I believe SFA at the half had shot 4 free throws in the first half. These are free throws 11 and 12 for the game, so already number 7 and 8 here in the second half.
Yeah, just the 2 trips in the first half. For ACU, it was either points in the paint or free throws for almost the entire game.
Heyman a 2-for-2 trip. He's got 6. ACU still the 4-point lead.
It's a ball game. This is exactly what we were hoping it would be. Possessions are at a premium. Physical defense. And it just might come down to who can be sharper at the stripe. And it was a pretty significant advantage for the Wildcats in the first half. Lumberjacks have kind of narrowed that gap here in the second half, as you mentioned, Andy. But down the stretch, it's going to be a factor. You can't deny it.
Boa Siako foul there. That's team foul number 5 here in the second half on the Lumberjacks. Dibble with the dribble. Floating shot, 8 feet out. It's an air ball. Wilson a chance to run. 3-on-3. Staying a 3, right side, left it short. Long rebound, he runs down his own miss. Heyman loses the basketball. It'll stay with SFA. Well, I tell you, Kyle Keller is upset. He thought it was another foul on the far side.
Wasn't quite sure what to do there for just a quick moment. Wanted to make sure that at least possession stayed on this end of the floor, because he thought that Simmons coming up was a heck of a lot of a bump. And he's not wrong.
Cameron Steele a chance to substitute in, and now a foul. And I believe it's on Simmons. More free throws coming here for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, a couple quick fouls too, and one right there. You like the aggression, but knowing that your opponent's in the double bonus, you've got to just make sure you can at least contest the pass, but not risk the foul there, and now check yourself out of the ball game.
That's the 3rd on Simmons, the first Wildcat with 3 fouls. So Aiden Igiehan check in here for Simmons. Sadadrian Hall, Day Hall at the line, still scoreless. 26 minutes deep. Hall likes it here at Moody Coliseum. Last year a double-double here in Abilene, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Been held scoreless here tonight. 1-1. And he's got his first point. Still the team's leading scorer at 11.9. He scored in double figures each of the first 4 games. Has not scored in double figures in the last 3. The stretch versus Drake, Utah State, and Tarleton. A 1-2 stretch for SFA. So Lumberjacks much better when Hall's in the scoring column. He's 2 for 2 on this trip.
And a team that started the season 4-1 before back-to-back slip-ups against Utah State. And then, of course, to begin conference play like we've touched on so far. So trying to right the ship, and no better time to do it, pick up the first conference win.
At a 9-point lead versus Tarleton on Wednesday with 9 minutes to go. Tarleton comes back, gets the 2-point win. Dibba top of the key, surveys the defense, 6 on the shot clock. Backdoor cut steal, tough catch, he's fouled in the open floor. And Wilson, who came over, tried to get the deflection, a little contact.
It's a really good trip down the floor, good possession, but you can see a little bang-bang there inside. Steele was open for a fraction of a second, and that window almost closed.
Team foul number 6, Wilson's 3rd personal. JV seat right side. Iggy Ahan out to McLean, 3 left side, good! Wildcats starting to heat up from outside. After starting 0 for 7 from deep, they've hit their last 2. Now a whistle and 3-second violation called on the Lumberjacks.
It's the first of the night we've seen. A lot of paint presence tonight.
That's a 3-second violation on the Lumberjacks.
Inside out game, seat to Iggy Ahan, out to Kavion McLean. That's his first 3 of the year. Started the year 0 for 12 from deep. He's got his first 3-point ball this season. Dibba trying to drive, lost the basketball, another turnover. That is turnover 16 now for Brett Tanner's bunch.
And that's what you really don't want to see. Of course, you don't want to see a turnover, but it's a turnover that you don't get a shot off of. You really don't get any type of aggressive look at the lane, and you just almost hand it right back over to your opponent.
Wilson and McLean play tight. Work the left side of the floor here in Heyman. Into the paint, layup, right hand, up off the glass and good. Heyman's got 8. Back to a 1-possession game at 45-42. Pace has slowed down here a little bit more in the half court the last few possessions. Working some shot clock. Iggy Ahan trying to post up on the inside. Can't get him the basketball. 5 now on the shot clock. Dibba out of control, whistle and a charge call. Heyman there to take the charge. Lumberjacks will have possession when we come back out of the timeout. ACU hanging on to the lead. It's a 1-possession game here in Abilene. Well, it's fishing season in Abilene. You better watch out.
Is that Mike Trout?
Nobody's safe here on the floor. It's the type of night it's been. ACU hanging on to this 3-point lead. Sometimes you go after the fish, sometimes the fish goes after you. ACU's had the lead the entire second half, but we have been right here, Chris, at what feels like 1 possession the entire second half. The largest lead at 7, but here we are at a 3-point spread again.
We thought maybe the points would pick up, tempo pick up a little bit. I think actually it has slowed down. And for Stephen F. Austin, as we approach this upcoming 10-minute mark and then underneath in single-digit minutes remaining, this is familiar territory. This is where they were at home, but with more of a lead. So now they're trying to lock this one out.
Well, Heyman will try to tie the basketball game up, and he will. A 3 from the right corner. Heyman's hot shooting continues. He's in double figures. Leading scorer now for the Jacks with 11. We are dead even at 45. Both teams shooting right at 40%. ACU 14 of 34, that's 41%. SFA 15 of 37, that's 40.5%. Shot clock down in single digits again. Backdoor cut to Steele. Shot from 12, too strong. Simmons an offensive rebound. He'll put it back up and in.
Boy, fortunate. It was a really good trip by SFA defensively, and they force kind of an off-balance shot from Cameron Steele. But then Simmons is kind of an impact player. Just enters himself into the fight, comes away with a rebound and an easy two.
Just the fourth offensive rebound for the Wildcats. Heyman tries back-to-back, misses this time. Offensive rebound, last touch out of bounds by the Lumberjacks. Check it out again, Arion cleaning up the glass, put 2 on the board.
I want that. In all of the arms going for the basketball, rips it out and able to finish and play some cleanup duty there. That's why he's out on the floor, and that's the difference that the big fella makes coming back for another year in Abilene.
Arion playing his 131st game in a Wildcat uniform in year number 5. Kyle Keller made us chuckle the other day. He said, I think Arion's almost as old as I am. Great comment from Kyle Keller in our time together yesterday. Wildcats by 2 in the basketball. Hunter Jack still scoreless. He's got a chance here with the ball on the right side. Underneath pass through the hands of Deba and another turnover. Stain on the floor to pick it up for the Jacks. Spin move Hall in the paint, and it's up and good. Day Hall, if he gets warm, you better watch out.
That's hit number 1 from the field for Day Hall, a guy that really we looked at coming into this game would be the difference maker.
Steele trying to get it back on the other side, and he will. Good post up of Hall down on the left block. Cam's got 4.
All right, here we go. Single digit minutes remaining, under 10. Feel things picking up a bit.
Christmas right side, it goes to Wilson. DeGrew's got the defensive assignment. Christmas a drive in, a dish through the hands of Southwick. Gets another turnover. Turnover number 22 on the year.
That's incredible. The turnovers, they just continue, and it's honestly, it looks like two teams just staring each other in the mirror, looking at how they play each other defensively, and the turnovers are following. But these are two coaches very similar, play styles very similar.
Well, you can see there between Christmas and Southwick in that replay, after the turnover, they're looking at each other, I thought you were going to be here. No, you're here. Both guys in their first year at SFA. They've got experience, but not together. Now here's a backdoor cut to Simmons. Jump stop, shot up too strong. Stain down on the floor again to get the loose basketball. Frank Stain, quality minutes. He's coming off a 13-point performance versus Tarleton. Hey, let's look around the WAC schedule today. RGV and Tarleton playing today. Seattle U hosting Southern Utah. A couple games around the WAC. Again, these first 2 games for the majority of the conference. UT Arlington 1-0 after beating ACU. They play Grand Canyon. That's a big one tonight in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Utah Valley, Utah Tech. It's a look around the WAC today in the WAC conference game number 2.
Looking at the standings, you're seeing a lot of teams so far with winning records overall. It's just good for the conference.
20-game WAC conference schedule this year. 11 teams in the conference. New Mexico State, Sam Houston State have both exited the conference, so down to 11. Everybody plays everybody, home and home, double round robin schedule. And again, Brett Tanner talked about, hey, we play these 2 early conference games, but we are trusting the process. We're not thinking too hard. We're not hyping these first 2 games. It's a 20-game schedule. Yeah, we want to win them, but we're trusting the process. We want to be ready for the grind in January and February. DeGrew in the corner. Now to Deba. He'll fire from 3. And got it. Deba's got 13. Right at his average at 13.1.
It's his first pull from downtown tonight, and no one really bothered to step in and try and knock him out of a rhythm. It was a slow rhythm, but it goes down.
Only his third triple of the year. Put ACU back up by 2 possessions. Heyman try to answer, and he will. Heyman's on fire. He's got 13. And it's a Kyle Keller SFA timeout out of the make. We'll step aside as well. It's a 1-possession game. 8:06 on the clock. Wildcats, a 3-point lead. Well, it's the 40th time these two teams have played. Last year, a great one. It took 10 extra minutes, double overtime. ACU and SFA. Lumberjacks were able to get this thing to the end, 92-88 in a double overtime thriller. It looks like, Chris, we're going to see pretty much the exact same thing. We're going right down to the wire here at Moody this year, too.
Yeah, I don't know if we can replicate the double OT final, but it was both teams. ACU a chance to win it in overtime. SFA had a possession to win it as well. And it took 2 overtimes to settle the score. It's just been, that's what it is. That's what these matchups are when you look at the series history. They're all close. Some of them low scoring, neck and neck. Some of them high scoring, neck and neck. And this one's right on track.
A.J. Kajust had 29 points in that double overtime game. Played 43 minutes. Day Hall, a double-double. Got the win. SFA won both in the series last year in the home and home. Wildcats a 5-point lead. Under 8 we go. Foul trouble. Arion Simmons has 4 fouls for ACU. Latrell Jostle has 4 for the Lumberjacks. Southwick right side, needs some help. Finds Heyman, the hot hand, down the baseline. Pass deflected into the hands of Diva. Chance to run. 3-on-3. Diva, left hand off the glass. A little out of control, couldn't finish. Now Heyman ahead of the defense. Layup on the right side, good. Whistle, and a chance for a 3-point play. Heyman ahead of the defense, 1-on-1. DeGrew tried to foul him, deflect the basketball. Unsuccessful. Heyman back to the line to shoot 1.
I think it's important. You really got to try to make sure that at least a shot doesn't get off there if you're going to cut in front of your guy like that that's cutting to the rim. Got the body, just couldn't really get a firm piece of the basketball, and it allowed Heyman to finish.
15 points, looks for point 16. It's off the rim, no good. SFA's hit each of their last 4 shot attempts. Allen left side with the dribble. Madden just 2 points, has the basketball right side. Drives in, out of control, whistle, a block call. Boy, Madden fortunate there, a little out of control as he drives in. Contact with Heyman, and Heyman picks up the foul.
Well, and just trying to get himself involved into the ball game right now on an 0 for 5 night from the field. You can see how far out the Lumberjacks guards are playing Hunter Jack Madden, not giving him a moment to think about pulling for 3.
Free throw up and good. This is the guy he won at the charity stripe, Hunter Jack Madden. 26 of 33 coming into tonight. He's 3 for 3 from the line now tonight, over 80% shooting from the charity stripe. The foul on Heyman, his 3rd. Jostle with 4, Wilson with 3, Heyman with 3. Second one for Madden, good as well. Back to a 5-point game. Heyman, who's been the hot hand, will get a breather with that 3rd foul. Stain is back in. He's been hot tonight. He's got 10. Heyman and Stain, the 2 Lumberjacks in double figures. Here goes Bobrin, left it short. Fight for the rebound. BTL has the rebound, and he's fouled. Here's a look at that series again. Here's the last 5, if you look at them. Other than the game in Las Vegas, an ACU 13-point win against the #1 seed Lumberjacks, everything has been single digits.
Yeah, and you look at that too at the bottom, 10 of the 17 games It's almost 10 years ago, our 10 points or less. Just all coming down, final possessions, turnovers, free throws. It's everything we're seeing tonight, Andy.
1-on-1 from Bedio. It's off the back of the rim and no good. That's the first miss for ACU at the line in the second half. 7 of 8 here in the second half. And now a whistle away from the basketball, and I think this one's going on Bedio.
Fouls are starting to pick up. You're noticing two big names currently that we haven't really talked about that are on the bench. Of course, for ACU, it's Arion Simmons with those 4 personal fouls. 7 points, 7 boards, 6 steals. He's a contributor in this game with those 4 personals. He's got to take it slow. And then Jostle for the Jacks with 4 as well.
Bedio the foul. Bobrin at the line, off the rim and no good. SFA in that first half, just 4 free throw attempts. That free throw was free throw attempt number 17. So much better at getting to the line. Of course, double bonus the rest of the way. 2 free throws on every foul. Bobrin a 1-for-2 trip. 4-point Wildcat lead. Who can be the scorer in this setup for ACU, this personnel on the floor? Allen's got a chance to. 3 from the top. Too strong. 1 bounce, 2 bounces. It does not fall. Lumberjacks look to get back within 1 possession. Kajust on the drive. Finds Stain cutting to the basket. It's up and good. Frank Stain after 13 versus Tarleton on Wednesday. He's got 12 here tonight.
Well, Coach Keller, too, noted post-game against UT Arlington that he's got to play well for us to do well.
Bedio the other way, left it short. And now SFA a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. Entry pass, Hall, nice catch with the left hand. Strong off the glass, left side. We're tied with 5.5 to go.
For SFA, Andy, it feels like they're returning the favor from what happened to them a few nights ago. They had the Mavericks come in and erase almost a 10-point lead inside the final 10. And now they're trying to do the same.
Steele a look at a 3, left side, around the rim, falls out. Rebound poked around. Chance for SFA to run. 3-on-3, led by Kajust. Stain drives the baseline. Kajust a look at the 3. Left it short. Second chance opportunity and a new shot clock. Christmas right side, banks it in. When your last name's Christmas in December, sometimes it's all good. SFA, their first lead of the second half, thanks to Christian Christmas. 3-pointer banked in from the right side.
Talk about a gift. I mean, offline, but right on line.
And SFA, their first lead of the second half. They're on an 8-0 run in the last minute 42. And they've got the lead.
Yeah, you can see the trends are really all pointing in good directions for the Jacks right now. They're hot. Meantime, Wildcats trying to find production and can't with no shots to go in. And over the last 2 minutes, SFA cashing in on 6 of their last 8 from the field to now take a 3-point lead.
Again, foul trouble for ACU. Simmons with 4. Deba has 3. And we mentioned on that last offensive set, who is the point production out of that 5 on the floor? And just like that with the timeout, Simmons back in, Deba back in. Steele, McLean, and Madden also on the floor. Here with Deba and Steele.
You mentioned consistency, one of the things that Coach Tanner's talked to this team about approaching this game. There have been moments tonight, Andy, where the Wildcats look like butter on offense. Just smooth, but then here in the recent 2-minute stretch, trying to find some type of mojo and gel to get some buckets going down.
No for their last 4 field goal attempts. McLean now has the basketball tied up. Possession will stay with the Wildcats. 17 on the shot clock.
And, you know, right off of the point we just talked about, you've got to tip your cap to defense like this because you're not allowing your opponent to get in any type of rhythm. When you're playing them that far out, constantly a body in the face, it makes things really tough.
Simmons backdoor cut McLean into the corner. Madden Contact here by Stain. The wraparound tried to poke it away from the backside. Stain will send Madden back to the charity stripe.
It's good by McLean, knowing he just doesn't quite have the size or the advantage where he was to try and make something of what at one point was good court position. Kicked it out and let Hunter Jack Madden get to the stripe.
Madden's 4 points from the line. Make it 5. Dibba the only Wildcat double figures with 13. Vidiol has 8. DeGrew has 7. Simmons with 7. McLean has 7. Madden now again with 5. Perfect from the line. And this one rolls out, no good.
Rare miss.
SFA a 2-point lead. Heyman has 15. Stain has 12. Jostle with 8. Boburn 7. Christmas with 7. After the big 3, the bank shot 3 on the last trip. Boburn a chance to shoot one. Whistle away from the basketball. I think Boburn stepped on the sideline on the far side. He did.
And that's a big break for the Wildcats. It just seemed like every ball movement they had a defender out of rhythm and out of place, and he was. He was a good half length of his shoe out of bounds there on the far sideline.
Turnover 24 for the Jacks. 18 of those in the first half, just 6 here in the second half. Under 4 we go. Dibble will drive baseline. Finds Madden, a look at a 3. Too strong, no good. Could juice the long rebound. SFA 6 of their last 8 from the field. Hall, a look at a 3, left corner. Too strong, no good. Rebound poked around. And looks like a foul call. ACU will be at the line. Under 4 timeout we go. Lumberjacks, 2-point lead.
Out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
The hunger to win is fueled by a chance to compete and the thrill of the action. The cheers from the crowd energize our team and push them on to victory. Whether it's the pre-game excitement of tailgating or the post-game euphoria of winning celebrations, United Supermarkets always brings an A-game to your party. From kickoff to tip-off and the final buzzer to the last out, United Supermarkets is proud to feed the competitive spirit.
3.5 to go. SFA has the 2-point lead. Again, we've talked about this 2-game stretch in conference. Both teams step back out of conference. You look at the Wildcats' upcoming schedule. Some games at home. A big one December 17th. Joe Golding, the former Wildcat coach, will be back here at Moody Coliseum. UTEP and ACU the 17th coming up. There's a look at SFA's schedule. They'll make their way to the east. Louisiana Tech Conference USA at Wyoming. And then former WAC opponent, New Mexico State, before 2 games with Paul Quinn and New Orleans. Again, a chance to step out, maybe assess your team 2 games in the conference, get back out on the floor and work on some things before conference play picks up again.
Yeah, and you're seeing for both teams, too, a common trend, some home games. So capitalizing on being able to sleep in your own bed, practice in your own gym, and really try to finely tune things up before WAC play starts.
This ACU is just their 2nd home game and game number 8. Same is true for SFA. They've only played twice in Nacogdoches, this being game number 8. Dibba at the line. He was fouled right before the timeout, the under 4 timeout. He's at the line. First one good, second one good. We're deadlocked at 59, 3.5 to go.
Strap in. It's going to be all just fast and downhill from here between these 2 teams, but not before a timeout.
Kyle Keller wants to, looks like, make some substitutions more than anything. He'll use the timeout, but he wants to get some substitutions as Jostle and Hall quickly off the bench and back in. We'll take a look at the early WAC standings. Again, a 20-game conference schedule. Grand Canyon, the favorite in the conference. They're 1-0 in the early season. SFA is second. Seattle U is preseason coaches pick third. Utah Valley fourth. ACU is fifth, so a chance to get into the WAC tournament. Of course, the top 8 of the 11 teams will be in Las Vegas for the WAC tournament there in early March. So there's an early look. Utah Tech plays their first conference game tonight. They were the odd man out in the 11-team conference setup.
Yeah, you don't bite too hard. You mentioned it really early. You see 3 and 4. It's important to note when you look at Abilene Christian, the 3 wins, San Jose State, Oklahoma State, and Fordham, those 2 of San Jose State and Fordham in that Paradise Jam of really good competition. They fall to Missouri State in the championship trip to rally to NC State, so a really good non-conference schedule coming into these 2 games in the WAC.
Ball's in the hands of Hall. He's working on Beediel down low. A whistle and a travel call here on Cajuste. Turnover number 25 on the night.
You noted, Andy, that Stephen F. Austin had done a commemorable job of limiting the turnovers in the second half, but now is when you really have to tighten the belt and limit the free giveaways.
Cajuste out, Wilson in for the Lumberjacks. Knotted up at 59. Dibba left side. We're still trying to get Madden some touches on the offensive end. Simmons has it now in the corner. Step back 3, right corner, buries it! His 131st game in a Wildcat uniform. He's got ACU up 3. Puts him in double figures now with 10. Wilson the drive. McLean cuts him off. Christmas underneath the basket. Reverse layup, too strong. Whistling a foul. Dibba's got his 4th. Look at this step back. Simmons in the corner.
I don't know how he found space here. Boy, just one little soft dribble. About a half foot of a step back with not much room to work with. Day Hall did all he could with the high hand and limit that space. What a knockdown.
Dibba's 4th personal. He and Simmons both with 4. Christmas at the line. Free throw good. SFA 12 of 20 at the stripe. Hall will get a breather as Boasiako is back in. Christmas, 2-for-2 trip. ACU a 1-point lead. Jacks continue half-court man-to-man. Backdoor cut, tough catch. Dibba, he makes it. Right block, left a short shot. Contested by Christmas. And the Lumberjacks a chance to take the lead with 2 minutes to go.
Just a lot of shot clock to work with there and didn't have a good angle to force a shot up to justify it.
Jostle with the dribble, gets to the paint. Jump stop, shot up, offensive foul call. Jostle led with the offside forearm. Push McLean, got caught. A quick look over. Kyle Keller was shaking his head, said, yep, you got caught. And I believe Jostle is fouled out, and he has. That's his 5th.
Man, that's a tough shooter to lose. All Jostle was the best 3-point percentage shooter in the conference last year and 9th in the country. He was 2 for 5 tonight.
Wildcats with possession, 15 on the clock. Whistle, and I believe another foul call on the far side. Bobrin and Wilson a double team. I think Bobrin reached in. He did. He caught McLean on the forearm. So Kavion McLean to the line.
We talk about Jostle departure too. What he had done really well tonight is keep the lid on Hunter Jack Madden.
McLean misses the first. 8 for 9 from the line on the season until that miss. Now 8 for 10. Second one, good. 2-point spread, it'll get DeGrew back in. Nasir DeGrew for McLean. Grew a little bit more height at 6'4", McLean at 5'9". 1:40 to go here in Abilene.
Quick fist pump from Brett Tanner. Knows these are the winning moments.
Heyman a touch, back on the floor, driving in. Double team comes. A lot of contact. Left-handed floaters up and good. Heyman with 17. We're deadlocked at 63.
He's dialed in. A game high 6 makes from the field. He's been shouldering a lot of the weight tonight for the Jacks on the road.
DeGrew to Madden, top of the key with the dribble. 15 on the shot clock. Entry pass, Simmons right block, up strong, no foul call. The officials play it through, and SFA's got the defensive rebound. 1 minute to go. Lob pass, Bobrin, whistle, travel call. It was a good lob pass, but Bobrin caught himself up underneath the basket a little too far. Shuffled the feet and he got caught. Yep.
Right there. After the dribble, just trying to find that position. Andy, a really good job by Simmons to come over and just, even if he gets a little bit of contact on the ball, it's enough to just kind of catch you off guard and then move you out of position underneath the bucket.
Cameron Steele, Kavion McLean back in. 50 seconds to go in a 63-all deadlock. Simmons with the left hand, dribbled off his leg. They'll say deflected out of bounds by the Lumberjacks. Kyle Keller wants a review, and I think he'll be granted the review. Simmons with the left hand, dribbled it. Looked like he dribbled it off his left shin.
Yeah, I thought he kicked it, but we're gonna see if maybe it was, I don't know how, the only way is if it touches someone else's shoe before it ends up finding the baseline.
Either that or a hand reaches out, touches it. Timeouts, ACU still has 2 timeouts, SFA with 1. Possession arrow faces the Lumberjacks. An official review on a ball out of bounds with 39.4 remaining.
You know the Wildcats too, what they're gonna look to do is get to the stripe. Whatever way that this shakes down, here we go. Yeah, see, I think that it was swatted free, but I think that it's Simmons' foot right there off the big toe, yeah. Oh, was it touched there, Andy? After it finds the shoe of Simmons as it's going out, I'd love to see that again. I think that it might have been batted at and found a pair of fingertips. Right, watch this here closely.
Watch right here, Christmas, I think.
Yeah, by Christmas, right? This is it. Right there. That middle finger, that's what they're going to look closely at. Man, that's close. It looks like it's the lone finger touching the ball.
Now remember, the call went the way of ACU, so they will have to have evidence to overturn this, and I just don't see anything. If nothing else, Christmas touched it. If not, is there conclusive evidence to overturn it? I don't think there is. ACU led by 5 at the half, 32-27. They held SFA at arm's length until the 4:52 mark. A Krishan Christmas banked in three-pointer gave SFA their first lead of the second half at 59-56.
We got to see this.
We're deadlocked at 63 again. Here's another look as Christmas stretches out that hand. Yeah, I think he got it. I think you're right. Good call, Chris. Good call to our officials as well.
Yeah.
They've been rock solid all night tonight.
That's good shooting, too, by our ACU TV crew there down on the baseline. But, again, it certainly looks like it. But is it 100% undeniable that he touched the ball? That's what these, that's what you got to walk away with, is looking at it going, I feel good about it because it's right there. So we'll see.
Well, again, the call goes the way of ACU.
Yeah.
So ACU would keep possession if it's inconclusive.
Good point.
So the only way to overturn it is to tell me that nobody touched it. Here's a review. So the officials want to see the baseline look. And we'll get another look at it. Again, you'll see it here. As it goes off of Simmons, Christmas comes over and does his hand touch it. Officials come over and get our baseline vantage point from it. They did not have the review of it. They do look at the ACU TV baseline review. Great job to our crew at ACU TV as the officials come over. Roderick Dixon took a look at our review here on the baseline on our monitors here courtside and quickly confirmed that, yeah, Christmas touched it. 15 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. McLean inbounds on the baseline. Simmons, big jump stop. Shot off the glass is good. Whistle and a timeout. Wildcats play with the lead with 35 seconds left.
Boy, and that didn't take Simmons long. He just gets the ball, puts it on the floor, and says, let's go. Enough of the stoppage. And just puts that body to work inside with one good dribble to get there, comes to a stop, and then he does the rest.
6'5", 265 pounds, and a freight train when he's on the move. Simmons now with 12. Dibba leads the way with 15. Heyman has 17 for the Lumberjacks.
We mentioned, too, how long Simmons has been here and then how close, dropping 4 the last 5. He's been on the floor for a lot of those games. So you can see his passion in this game. It means just that much more to him. He wants this one.
Last year it went double overtime here in Abilene. SFA a chance to extend. Down by 2, 35.2 on the clock. Moody fans getting into it. It's in the hands of Wilson. 20 on the shot clock. Whistle, timeout, Kyle Keller. Didn't like the look, he wants to reset it. 14 on the shot clock, 19.2 on the game clock. What's the conversation here for Kyle Keller? 14 on the shot clock, down by 2.
Well, you had a lot of momentum before just the recent 30 seconds of game time. But at this point, you've got to go to Heyman. I mean, he's been the guy. It's either Stain or Heyman who have combined for 11 of your hits from the field. Literally half, Andy, of the makes from the field for the Jacks as a team. So you've got to come up with some variation of getting those guys a high percentage shot or at least getting to the stripe.
Both teams in the double bonus. Any foul would be 2 free throws. SFA 13 of 21 at the line. 17 of those 21 attempts have been here in the second half. They've been much more aggressive getting the ball into the paint. Heyman 4 of 5 at the line. Bobrin 2 of 4. Christmas 2 of 2. Hall also 2 of 2 at the line. He's not on the floor, at least currently. Jossel has fouled out for the Lumberjacks. He's the only player that's fouled out thus far. So your major three-point shooter right now without Jossel on the floor. Bobrin's at 33%. He doesn't shoot many of them.
It's Jossel that you're booting to in the corner here at the top of the key. It's off a drive.
He's fouled out.
Correct.
He's out of the game, so he's not there.
Correct.
Christmas is a three-point shooter. Again, he banked in the 3. Just under 5 minutes to give SFA their first lead of the second half.
If you're ACU, you've got to be careful about how you go for a rebound.
Kajus to inbound. Heyman's got it in the corner. 10 on the shot clock. Entry pass. Shot blocked out of his hands. Siako had it knocked out of his hands. Wildcats have the basketball. Foul called on the Lumberjacks.
This is what they're looking to do. It's just a really tough spot for Siako. He's underneath the bucket where he can't wrap around comfortably, and it just forced an uncomfortable shot. Great pressure underneath to come up with a stop, but we noted it's going to come down to this right here.
And it's Leonardo Bitiol at the line. Season high already tonight with 8 points, all in the first half. Chance to make it a 2-possession game. Free throw up, free throw good. ACU 24 of 29 at the line tonight. Chance to make it a 2-possession game. Back rim. One final push for the Lumberjacks, down by 3. Kajus, Heyman, 3, got it! With 3.4 on the clock. Madden will fire from just inside half court, off the front of the rim. Overtime we go. Matt Heyman, left wing, buries the shot. And on his 20th point of the night, he earns 5 more minutes for the Lumberjacks. And 66 apiece from Abilene. 5 more to go. Well, the narrative last year, the narrative for this entire series. Sometimes 40 minutes isn't enough. Last year, 40 was not enough in Abilene. Tonight, 40 is not enough. Check out the shot. Matt Heyman from the left wing.
Of course it's going to overtime. Of course we need extra time between these two. And of course Hunter Jack Madden's poll was that close from a win. And I'll tell you what, Andy, on the contested shot from Simmons, ACU really lucky that wasn't a 4-point play attempt because it looked like Heyman's leg might have gotten kicked out there. But nonetheless, we got a fresh 5 up on the clock. And who has more? Who has more in the tank at this point? And you've got to put all the things we've talked about on the table with turnovers, free throws, who can be cleaner, and who can win overtime.
Well, quick reset for you. Both teams in double bonus. We'll see 2 free throws on every foul here in overtime. Jostle has fouled out for the Lumberjacks. Bobrin has 4. For the Wildcats, Simmons has 4. Dibba has 4. Simmons, Steele, Dibba, McLean, and Madden on the floor for the Wildcats. Bobrin, Heyman, Boasiako, Kajus, and Stain on the floor for the Lumberjacks. 5 more minutes here in Abilene. ACU wins the tip. Now which team can reset that fast, put the first 40 minutes behind them. Simmons gonna go to work, floating layup right side, left it short. Heyman's got the rebound. 20 points now for Heyman.
Simmons and Dibba, both of those 4. You got to be really careful on both ends of the floor because those are guys that really are wind out of your sails if you lose.
Kajust, skip past Stain, left wing, air ball, too strong. Dibba tried to save it in, he stepped on the baseline. The shot clock should not reset. They'll put 20 on the shot clock. I didn't think there was possession. And the ACU staff asking that question, Brett Tanner trying to ask that question. Should the shot clock reset on an air ball?
They're going to say the change of possession.
Yep. Yeah. They're going to say Dibba had possession before he stepped out of bounds. But still only 20 on the shot clock. If that were said, they should put 30 on the shot clock. Nonetheless, SFA has it. Kajus behind the back dribble into the paint. Floating shot too strong. Steele's got a big, strong defensive rebound. SFA winning the rebound total 40-27 tonight. Dibba on the left side. To Madden, down the baseline. Back to Dibba, left block, shot up and good. Chance for a 3-point play.
That's what they were looking to hope for, to see on the first offensive trip. Just a little bit more ball movement, slow some things down, and you could see and you could tell that SFA defensively just a half beat off balance and allowed Madden to thread the needle on the baseline and get Dibba a chance for a 3-point play.
Dibba's season high this year is 18. He did that versus Fordham. Chance for point number 18 here tonight at the line. Free throw up, back iron, and no good. 2-point lead for the Wildcats. I would think SFA might want to attack Dibba or Simmons with the 4 fouls. Kajust entry pass. Another entry pass, Boasiako. He's fouled on the inside. Free throws for the Lumberjacks.
The foul called on Nasir Gaguru, that's his second of the game.
Foul on DeGrew, his second. Boasiaco at the line. 70% on the year, 14 out of 20. But just 1 for 4 tonight. Make it 2 of 5. He rolls that one over the front.
Wasn't a long break for Kavion McLean. Just a quick chance to try and catch your breath. And you see Brett Tanner right there say, boy, it is going to come down to it.
We're tied at 66 coming to overtime. Chance for our first tie here in the extra period. 2 for 2 at the stripe. We're tied at 68. Every possession, all the more critical. And now pickpocket, Heyman of Madden. He'll slam it home. Lumberjacks have the lead in overtime. Absolute pickpocket at half court. Madden let him go. Heyman the dunk. He's got 22. McLean with the dribble, 15 on the shot clock. Simmons on Southwick. 3 ball on the way, rolls around, falls out. A rebound to Christmas. SFA with the basketball with the lead.
And a chance to do a lot of damage here.
Christmas left side halfway through overtime at the 2.5-minute mark. Backdoor cut, Heyman reverse layup. Too strong and no good. Rebounds loose, bodies on the floor. Timeout called here for SFA. Boasiaco able to get possession of the basketball, laying on the floor. Timeout is granted to the Lumberjacks. Kyle Keller, a lengthy conversation with the officials. Nonetheless, great hustle play by Boasiaco as he gets down on the floor. Heyman misses the reverse layup. A hustle play. Timeout granted for possession.
And fortunate that's not number 5 for Dibba. A really tough contested look at the cup. Man, these guys are gassed, Andy. The physicality really hasn't taken any type of slide since we tipped off back in the first, all the way back about 2.5 hours ago.
Simmons will stay on the floor, as will Dibba, both with 4 fouls. And Jostle's already fouled out. Bobrin has 4 for SFA. He is currently on the bench. Possession with the Lumberjacks after the timeout. They've got 18 on the shot clock. A 2-point SFA lead. Kajus to inbound. Heyman, floating shot from 6, left it short, gets his own rebound. Back up and in. 24 for Matt Heyman.
And he's taken it over offensively, and you could tell that was designed to get him the shot. They're trying to lock down on the rebound on Boasiaco, and it freed up Heyman to come away with his own O-board.
A new career high for Matt Heyman, the junior out of Louisiana, the transfer from Hines Community College. Team leader in steals tonight. He's the team leader in points. Misses the floater, recognized that it was going to be short, got his own rebound and put it right back up and in. That's 6 in a row now for SFA here in overtime to build the 4-point lead.
You got to credit the Jacks here with how this has gone, Andy. ACU, 25 minutes plus with holding the lead tonight. SFA, just over 11 minutes that they've held the lead. And you can chalk some of that up back in the first half as well with how many lead changes this has had, 4. So it's really been in the second half and right up until that final buzzer, an ACU lead. But SFA has just hung around and kept fighting and kept understanding that they're not out of the game. And now they've got a 4-point lead.
Their largest lead tonight, 4 points. They led 14-10 early. They now lead 72-68. Out of an ACU Brett Tanner timeout. Wildcats have possession. And McLean loses the basketball. Giving it right back, though, Kajus. Kajus knocked it away. I thought he had the steal, but could not corral it before it goes out far sideline. Shot clock resets, 29 for ACU to work with again.
Man, I think possession there is so much more important than points because you can melt off an easy 30. If Kajus, you're just able to get the 2 hands on the ball, he'll be kicking himself thinking about that one.
DeGrew back in for McLean to run the point. Dibba driving to the basket, fouled hard. Southwick fouled him hard. He'll make Dibba earn it from the charity stripe.
It's a tough take. This is what tonight has looked like for most part.
We called it a rock fight all night long.
I think we sold that pretty well.
Man alive. Well, the players helped us sell it. Absolute trademark Lumberjack Wildcat basketball game. Dibba's first free throw is good. Point number 18 for Ollie tonight. He's matched his season high with 18. Chance for a new season top. Free throw up. Free throw good. It's a one-possession game. Lumberjacks 72. Wildcats 70.
And if you're SFA, this is where you can bury it. And if you're ACU, this is where you have to try to get yourself back in the ball game is with a stop and a score.
Christmas gives to Heyman. Heyman asking for a screen. Southwick will give it to him. Olesiako. Backdoor cut stolen by Dibba. Wildcats have it. Chance to tie or take the lead. DeGrew, left-handed dribble to Dibba, on his way to the bucket. Bounce pass, BTO off the mark. Lumberjacks have it. The two teams trade turnovers and SFA has it back.
Boy, do you go up there on a contested look. You kind of like the bailout looking underneath. Just didn't work out.
Under a minute we go in overtime. Heyman, pass deflected, Kajust. 6 on the shot clock. Southwick a look at a 3, buries it. Southwick's first 3 points of the night come with less than a minute in overtime. It's a 5-point game.
An unlikely hero unless the Wildcats have one more say.
Simmons, Dibba, Madden will try to answer, partially deflected. Lumberjacks have possession. ACU's gonna have to foul. And there is the foul at half court. As Heyman is fouled.
That's going to be number 5.
What a huge shot in the corner coming from Clayton Southwick.
To their final seconds, the Lumberjacks were down and needed a big 3. They got it from Matt Heyman, the junior, and then now it's Clayton Southwick who's able to knock down another big triple. That was the story in most of the first half, were the threes from outside for the Jacks. Wildcats surged back in the second half. And again, down to the final ticks, a 3-point lead until overtime was forced by this man right here at the stripe.
Foul was on Arion Simmons. You can see he's on the bench, his 5th personal foul. Arion finishes with 12 points tonight, 4 of 10 shooting. But his night has come to an end. Heyman's first free throw, point number 25, is on the board. The largest lead for the Lumberjacks with 28.8 to go. Misses the second. Wildcats are going to have to push down 6. DeGrew left side, gets all the way under the rim, back out. Dibba with the drive. Layup blocked, but a foul call. Olesiako the foul. Dibba will go to the line.
It's just not been the night for Hunter Jack Madden, or else that's exactly who you're looking for. But I think Dibba, knowing that with seconds and time melting off the clock, just needed to put the ball on the floor.
Dibba 2 free throws. First one is good. He now has 20. He and Simmons, the only Wildcats in double figures, will get a timeout. BTO has 9. DeGrew has 7. McLean has 8. For the Lumberjacks, Heyman with 25, Stain with 12. They're the only 2 SFA players in double figures. Christmas with 9. Jostle has 8. Bobrin has 7. And Hall with 6. Quiet night for Hall tonight. The team leading scorer at 11.9. But it has been the Matt Heyman show, just averaging 6.5 a game, 25 on the board, 9 of 14 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 5 of 7 from the charity stripe, throw in 6 rebounds. It's been a big time night for the junior.
And this is a stunned crowd, and unfortunately a familiar feeling for the Wildcats, knowing that they're in a spot where they can lock it out, and it's a close game, it's an overtime game. But again, this is such a booster for a team, and Stephen F. Austin, just hearing the tone and how Kyle Keller was talking about his team, saying, we will be fine, we'll be just fine. We just need a couple of things to take care of themselves and us to iron out some consistency, and boy, can a win like this really do that.
SFA back at home on Tuesday, playing host to Louisiana Tech. ACU also at home on Wednesday this week, playing host to Northern Arizona. Both teams step out of conference play for the next month. WAC play picks back up in January. Dibba, one more free throw here to try to make it a 4-point game. Free throw up and good. It's a matter of trying to get a steal, then a foul, and hope SFA misses free throws if you're the Wildcats. Heyman will inbound against full court pressure. He can run the baseline, he will. He finds Stain, and there's the foul on Emmanuel Alley.
And it's the guy that they want to get the ball to, Andy. 93% for Frake Stain this year coming in.
13 of 14 on the year from the line.
Yeah, it's exactly the inbound, and he really didn't face much opposition, just kind of slipped off of his man, and it was a quick inbound pass to him.
We'll give Frank Stain credit. 13 points versus Tarleton on Wednesday, and now 13 points tonight versus ACU. Started slow in his first few games in a Lumberjack uniform, but now the conference play is hit. Back-to-back 13-point performances.
Yeah, and again, still a team that has been toying with their starting lineup. And I think a lot of guys have really pitched a strong case tonight moving forward for the Jacks.
2 for 2 at the line. It's a 6-point game with 16.9 left. McLean 3, top of the key, rattles out, no good. Stain the rebound. And one more foul, and that should about do it. Big time win for Kyle Keller and the Lumberjacks on the road. They'll sneak out of Abilene. Looks like they'll be 1-1 in conference play.
It's a team that a few short years ago trying to get back to how they were in conference play, and they know that it's winning at home. And then unfortunately the tough pill is for Brett Tanner and the Wildcats, it's winning at home. And it's teams that a pair of years ago inside Moody Coliseum in that 2021-22 season, 14-3, just still trying to find that recipe and these winning moments, closing them out to get back to that scene.
Foul is on Dibba. He has fouled out for the Wildcats, 21 points. Stain the first free throw good. The second one rolls out. He'll finish with 15 tonight. One final push for the Wildcats. SFA outscores the Wildcats 13-8. It will be here in overtime. The Lumberjacks win it again in extra minutes. SFA 79 and ACU 74. SFA 5-3. They're now 1-1 in conference play. ACU drops to 3-5, 0-2 in WAC conference play. Chris, there's some positives, but I think this one's for the home team at least a little bit of a gut punch and a little bit of momentum for the visiting Lumberjacks. Another good win here on the ACU home floor.
Yeah, and you know that with a game like this, as good as it was, you know, some coach has to walk away and some of these guys have to walk away with a loss. And for Brett Tanner and his Wildcats, unfortunately, they're on that end of the deal. But man, what a game that we had from the tip. We knew it was going to be exactly that. Physical, defense, turnovers, all things that we saw in this game. But now some work to be done before January.
Some work to be done, but a long season ahead here for both teams. 79-74, SFA gets the win over ACU. Thanks to all involved. This has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streamed live on the ESPN app. 79-74 Lumberjacks. Good night from Abilene, Texas.